That was the first question?
That's it.
What's it like working for Coach Sizzle? Well, I mean, nothing's really changed. He's always been, part of that defensive room. It's just a little bit different with him sitting at the front of it. And I tell you, you pay attention to a lot more detail in practice with him because he's all over, he's everywhere, and it's I work for him up there, and it's to me it's what I was used to, and so it's really been no adjustment because he's been active in it the whole time, and very instrumental in making sure things run well. It's just now he's the guy.
Does it kind of get the kids' attention though to have the head coach out there?
Oh yeah, it gets their attention, but at the same time, they're excited about it too because he's so intense and he pays attention to every little step, and but I think the kids really excited about him being out there and the head coach actually being your position coach. So don't get no better than that.
A couple of players talked about the intensity that he brings, and I guess the straightforwardness that the criticism they bring, but they said it's something they needed. Have you seen them respond?
Yeah, he's really honest. That's one thing about him. They're going to get exactly what he's thinking, and he's going to tell them at that point in time. And those kids, they responded the right way. They're like I said, they're excited about him being out there. It's intense, and every little thing gets coached, but it's different. Like I said, when you got the head coach over there, everything is a little bit heightened. So those guys are excited, and I'm excited about him being over there also.
How much is the fundamental work that you got in the ball practice? How much does that mean for your young guys?
It's like a pre-spring. You just get to really work so many fundamentals. I've had so much fundamental time, and it's just reteaching the things that you taught this spring. And sometimes during the season, you get so caught up in the schematic part of the game, you really let some of the fundamentals go. But it's been really a welcome sight just to get back to the base fundamentals, steps, hands, teaching moves, and just coming back and with the ball practice, so much film time that you have that you can just go in there and just coach the little things. It's not a rush, and you got time to meet with them. You just got a bunch of time to try to correct the little things.
You got several true freshmen that are in the mix too. They've haven't had a spring at all. This for them.
Man, it is. You can see a difference. Probably the guy that I've noticed, this last couple of days has been Devontae Sigler. He just looks like a different guy. That guy is going to be is a guy you're going to talk about around Auburn for years to come. He's got a chance to be one you talk about. He's got a chance to be as good as that probably could play here. And I'm excited about him, but all of them come back, rested a little bit, minds rested a little bit, and you can just tell there's a pepper in their step in practice.
What stood out to you about Sigler?
Just how, he's taking the technique to another level. He's starting to look like a defensive lineman. Not that he didn't, but, we got to remember that guy played linebacker in high school. And now, he's standing out. Every day he's done something that just opened my eyes. And even the guys in the meeting room are talking about it. So, he's just benefiting from, just being here. And like I said, he didn't have a lot of bad habits to break. And he's taking those techniques now, and you can see he's understanding it, and he's taking it to another level.
You also said he's playing the power end spot now. Is that the plan going forward, to have him on the edge?
That's where he finished the season at, and you really get excited about him because he's able to work in space out there, and most guys can't. But when you put him in the inside, you just vision that athletic ability just taking over down there. But he's really been a guy that I've been really impressed with these last week or so.
How's it been for you, your first year, having so many young guys that have to coach? I mean,
If you saw me before I came in here, you saw about 50,000 gray hairs that I had in my beard. But you know what? It's been a challenge. But if I had to pick it anyway, I'd rather have the young guys and where I can teach them the techniques that I want them to know. And you didn't have to break another coach's techniques. And it was some left over from Coach Rocket, but a lot of the things we do are similar. But those freshmen, those young guys coming in, what you're teaching now, and it's the same stuff over and over and over. Now they're starting to get it. They're starting to ask questions. They're starting to understand, and they're actually starting to help the other guys now, because now they understand what I want, the techniques that we're teaching, but it was a challenge. It really was. It was a challenge, and I was excited about it. Still excited about it, but. Just having those freshmen, you just had to be patient. I had to learn to be patient. We took our lumps a lot this year, but I think those guys grew up in the process.
Has it made you a better coach?
Oh, no question. No question. And, anytime you're coaching in this league, you're either going to get better or worse. And I think it's made me a better coach, paying attention to the detail. But anytime you're a coach and you're coaching young guys, the one thing it teaches you is to be patient. And that was one thing I had to learn that I was not, because I expected everybody to go out there and be an all-star from day one. But you got to learn that these are baby steps that these guys are making, and the future is what we're excited about for those young guys.
DeMonte didn't play a whole lot late in the season. Do you expect that to change?
You know what? It was a combination of a couple of things. One thing, he battled some injuries. He battled a shoulder injury during the last part of the season, and he changed position. So in all fairness to him, now he's healthy, he's been there a while, and it's only going to help him from being a D tackle to a D end, because he's just going to have, all those positions that he's played and worked at. So we're going to find the best place for him. But, just remember I said this, that guy's going to be a really good football player here.
Like Kamaya Harrell and Jabri Niles, I think it's some good work in practice right
You
now.
know what? They have not. I haven't brought them over much because we're kind of shorthanded for guys to help the offense. But those guys they're factored into the mix. This spring, and what's going to be big for those guys is the off season. When they get in the off season and get in that weight room and want to work out, get themselves in the best position to come out and compete this spring. They'll have a chance. They'll have a chance. Hadn't got a chance to work with them much. It's kind of hearsay from the offensive line coach how they doing. But I would be excited for those guys too, because those guys are talented too. But it's just right now, you're trying to get ready to play the game, and you don't really have a lot of time to spend with those guys right now.
At tackle, are Gabe and Kenneth still 1A and 1B there?
You know what? Kenny kind of took it over. He's kind of taken it and ran with it. Gabe's still in the mix, but it's kind of Kenny's to lose right now. And Kenny, he's responding, he's practicing well, he's trying, and Gabe ain't far behind. But right now Kenny has basically solidified the position pretty much. But Gabe will play just like Kenny will, but that's going to be a very, very interesting battle for years to come, those two guys. And that's the way you want it. You want them to feel pushed, and that thing could change the next 2 days. But right now, Kenny's doing what I'm asking him to do, and Gabe is doing it also, but I think Kenny's a little bit ahead of him right now.